We live in a world where so many times when we actually sit and feel through it, it doesn't make sense. All these wars, the destruction, every time you turn on the news, it's like a new massive disaster going on.
There are others, some neighbors, some allies.
And like many humans, many souls who reincarnate on this earth, I was born in the middle of an epic human failure. My whole nervous system, like the nervous system of many other souls, was coded for the world is a dangerous and scary place to live in. And so as my optimistic self went out and about, there was always this clash and this conflict with an inexplicable pain that would just not go away. And if you feel this pain, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You probably do some form of self-numbing, or maybe you work 18 hours a day. Anything to make this pain go away, but it just follows you no matter wherever you go. You cannot run far enough, fast enough, long enough. And if you get desperate enough, like I did in my early 30s, you'll finally take a moment and actually look within and say, what the F is going on? I want to feel peace. I want to feel peace. And so at the end of 2015, beginning of 2016, that's exactly where I was at. And I made this one decision that I didn't understand how big it would be, but it became the catalyst for everything beautiful that would enter my life. I decided I was going to learn to love myself unconditionally and make it a priority to feel inner peace as a part of my normal freaking day. How crazy is that? And as I made that decision, my life began to completely change. I began to feel different. I began to have different friends. I changed careers. I manifested love. And about 4 years later, as I was married to this incredible man, he made me a gift that I'd never received before. And that was the gift of being able to absolutely relax in trust for the first time in my life. And as we went on our honeymoon in Antigua, I totally took this on. I spent weeks just meditating, being, and I had this moment where I distinctly remembered I spent so many years wondering what it would feel like to finally go to heaven and feel that inner peace. And as I began to feel this peace right here on this earth, I asked myself, what if we had it wrong this whole time? What if this is our heaven on earth? And as soon as I had this thought, I noticed other thought leaders who think this way, like Dr. Bruce Lipton, who literally has a book called Heaven on Earth. And as I continue to explore this life and now building a business and brand that reflect my heart and soul, and being in this healthy, loving relationship as my husband and I travel Europe together, literally building our lives by design, the world is continuing to go on fire. And I ask myself, what would happen, like just for one moment, imagine what would happen if instead of teaching our children these theories that apply maybe to some, we taught our children how to love unconditionally. We made it a priority as a collective to learn unconditional self-love. That unconditional love is the kind of love that makes you feel safe to witness your own soul and to awaken your soul and to express your unique individualism as you come on this earth to be a part of a collective. This is the kind of love that makes you feel safe to be accepted by yourself and choose to grow at the same time. It's like having a fire in your heart and a peace in your mind. And through this love, we also know that forgiveness is as necessary as breathing air. And what would happen if this was the dominant thought we taught, even in our prisons, in every failed version of our society? And you might be sitting there thinking that it's naive of me to imagine that we would live in a better place. But you know what they say, we live in a world of imagination. So as I continue to navigate through this life now through the lens of unconditional self-love, the chaos hasn't stopped, but the way I feel and the way I perceive and navigate through this has completely changed. I don't hold on to pain. I process and respond with love. I stand up for myself. I stand up for justice, and I choose to forgive every day as I hold really strong, healthy boundaries. I don't spend my days feeling angry, guilty, helpless, or ashamed of everything that I can't change that's out of my control. And I have the courage to change what is actually in my control. And so I know that I'm living proof of how powerful it is to return to a state of love. And I know that right now the biggest disease in our society is not the lack of land or being not able to agree on what's the right religion and what's the right way to live. It's our lack of feeling love, that connection with our human essence as beings. And we create these cities to make our lives better, but we end up hustling and killing each other, killing ourselves to try to feel something and experience something that is already within us. And if we were all to take a moment to learn to reconnect with our hearts, imagine the world that we would live in.